So, how can you work from anywhere in the world and earn over $231,000 a year with only 14 hours a week of actual coaching? Now, I know that sounds completely absurd, but that's what we're here to show you in this training session, because I know there's a couple of key problems that so many fitness professionals are having right now. Number one, you're probably a bit confused and you're not 100% sure how to actually set up your coaching programs online. You don't know about the tech stuff, you don't know about the softwares, you don't know about the apps to use, and we're going to solve all of that right now. The other thing is you've probably got a limit to how many clients you can actually have on board with the way that you've got your coaching set up, which means you've got a limit to how much money you can earn. And also, one of the biggest problems is if you're stuck behind your computer 24/7, well, that's just no fun and ends up with a really boring life as well. Now, I've got Josh next to me because Josh has coached thousands and thousands of people online. And we're literally going to walk you through step by step the behind the scenes for how we get coaches up and running with their coaching programs as well. And I know this is a really big promise, but watch this to the end. I guarantee you this is going to be absolutely worth it. Josh, I know I started by saying you've coached thousands of people online. Let's get super actually dialed in on that. How many people have you coached?
Yes, 15,200 people worldwide.
Okay, so this is not theory for what we're coming up with right now. This is actually in the trenches, and how the smartest thing to do, how we get other coaches to be able to get this up and running really quickly. Because I've got to be perfectly honest, when I started online fitness coaching back in 2014, I did it the wrong way. I was in the gym training clients. I had trainings working for me. I thought I was doing pretty good. Then I transitioned to just 100% online fitness business. And I did a couple of things really wrong. I set the delivery of the coaching programs up, which made it really hard for the clients to actually follow through with everything. And I was doing it the old school way. Like I was sending them like Word documents with like what their training programs were. Like this was super old school. I gave them phone access to me so they could ask questions. And my wife wanted to throw me and my phone out the window because this thing was just going off 24/7 trying to reply back to everyone. So I don't want you to get into that. I want you to set up a coaching program that does three things. So this is the intention for today's training session. Number one, you can get your clients the best possible results because you never want to sacrifice on that. Number two, what we want to be able to do is maximize your profit. So we don't want to have you having a ceiling for how many clients you can hold, and therefore you're stuck, because that's still stuck in the time for money trap. But then also number three, I want to make sure we minimize you doing all the heavy lifting in the business as well, so that you can have more freedom, so you can do other things, whether help more people or actually enjoy life in other areas of doing life. That is what we're supposed to be doing as well. So Josh, I know there's three key things that we want to be able to teach in this training session. The first one is going to be the onboarding. Okay. Can we please take this through? What are the onboarding steps to make sure that we have a fitness client getting to their goals as fast as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. First, in order for us as the coach and entrepreneur to understand why something matters, I want you to be motivated enough to actually do this. So onboarding, let's be totally honest, not super sexy. Here's the thing though, if your onboarding process breaks, you have dramatically made your life a lot more stressful. So do you want more or less stress in your life? Number one. And number two, what is the customer journey and the customer experience you're giving your people? Because that in the first 7 to 14 days, the quality of your onboarding experience will dramatically either increase or decrease retention long-term, meaning do people actually stay with you and continue to give you green freedom paper in the form of money or not? So just make sure I hooked you in and make sure you know the value of onboarding. Couple really simple things, because honestly, I'm not sure if I'm smart enough to understand really complex things. I put together this onboarding checklist with selfish intentions of how do I have less time invested and energy invested for me to onboard my clients. Just so happens I figured it out, and here's something you can use for yourself. So first thing that needs to happen, I'm not coaching someone until payment information is taken and payment has gone through. So you can use something like Stripe or PayPal. Maybe, Chris, that's a video I shoot later on and give these people that are watching this, well, how do I actually take payment? Stripe or PayPal, super simple. First payment needs to go through. Second thing, liability purposes need to be covered. You don't want to get sued. Have an agreement set up. You can make it really cute and technologically advanced through something like HelloSign or a nice little PDF. They can write their name and send it back to you. Payment, then actual agreement being signed. Number three, have a kickoff call. 10 to 15 minute chat booked in. You can use something like Calendly. So you explain what is the program, how are you going to communicate with clients, how are you not. going to communicate with clients. Chris, maybe we shouldn't have been doing calls at 9 p.m. every single night with our clients. We should have drawn clear boundaries with our clients early on so that we don't have problems once they're inside the program. Week 3, 4, 5, they're feeling stranded. They're feeling abandoned. They're not motivated. They're not doing the workouts anymore. So number 3, have the kickoff call booked in so you can cast the vision for them long-term and maybe get a referral from them right away. And then also have, last but not least, a questionnaire filled out so you can get the data and technical information you need from that client so you can contextualize the program to them. Then from there, you're ready to start with the actual programming of nutrition and workouts. So just to recap that, Chris, payment information taken and payment actually successfully taken. Agreement is done, kickoff call booked in, questionnaire filled out, and then you can start doing the technical programming.
Perfect, dude. This is so good. Okay, so onboarding is some really simple steps, but it still blows my mind how many coaches do not have this system in place. And when I say system, I really want to hammer that word home because it is something that you can trust that is going to work without you having to do all the heavy lifting in it. Now, really quickly, the whole premise of this training session was earning over $231,000 a year with only 14 hours a week of actual coaching. Now, let's actually go through the back of the napkin math to make this work, because this is literally what coaches are being able to do right now using these coaching systems that we have for you to be able to get set up with. And so the way that this works out is, this is a real life example of, let's say we have 55 clients on board, which isn't that many. And let's say the actual charge rate is $347 a month for those 55 clients. And that means you're going to be able to earn $19,000 a month or the $231,000 a year, which is amazing. Now, the really important part is it's the system of coaching those clients works out to be about 1 hour per month per client. Okay. So per client, it takes you 1 hour of coaching per month to give them what they need for them to be able to get great results. So now the next step, what we need to go into is, well, what do we actually do to make sure that we can give them that as well? But I want you to understand the basic math behind how this fits in. And this is where a lot of coaches go wrong, because they either skew the math or they just don't know it whatsoever. And this is where I want to give you a real life example of how this gets set up. So what I want us to go through now is going to be the actual steps of what to include inside of your coaching program. And then we can start talking about the tech stuff of, well, how do you have the business doing everything and for it to run together? And also the tech stuff for you coaching your client as well. So Josh, let's dive into what do we actually include inside of the coaching programs, especially to give some maybe real life examples for when it comes to like $300, $350, $500 a month coaching programs.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, really simple. I also like alliteration. So I'll break it up into 2 separate categories. Okay. Strategy and support. Let's talk strategy very briefly, then we'll talk support. Because actually, it's probably one of those 2 areas, if you're currently coaching, that you're probably spending too much time on. And there's a reason why every coach might have a coaching client that has 3 to 5 hours worth of work for onboarding. And then every client takes 7 or 8 hours per month instead of the 1 or 2. So here's a very important thing. So assess yourself where you're at. What do I need more of right now in terms of better systems? Strategy, support, or option C, which was me 5 years ago, both. Strategy. We're giving really some form of movement advice with workouts, training, and then nutrition advice. Unfortunately, you can't sit on the couch every single day and eat pizza every single day and have your dream body. So no matter what you believe in, you're having some sort of workouts and nutrition attached there. We'll come back to the tech stuff in terms of how you deliver that. Okay, so maybe you're like myself, general population, not super high level athletes, kind of the general, let's lose 10, 15 pounds, look, feel, and operate a little bit better. I think 8 weeks giving them new programming is perfect. Anything shorter than that, and it just feels like you're making a new program all the time. Did they have enough time to progressively overload? We could get caught up in the nitty gritty details. I'm not going to, but general population, most people doing the same program, 12, 16, 20 weeks. Very vanilla, very repetitive. Motivation tends to go down in my experience. So set it up 8 weeks, give them new programming. In nutrition, I use a simple hand portioning method system, the PVFC nutrition guide. If you want that and you're watching this right now, find a way to get in touch with us on that. Happy to give it to you. Like Chris and I are jumping on here. We're giving away our best stuff, right? So actually, if you want it, find a way to get in touch with us and I will give it to you. So nutrition, I have that guide. Workouts, we'll talk about my PT Hub later on. Then the support. This is where I think coaches spend way too much time on because they did not draw clear boundaries in the kickoff call. And by the way, are you doing a kickoff call or not? I really think you should. It's quick, doesn't take a lot of time. Support. This is what I would do if I were you guys. And this is how your coaching clients will only take you 1 hour of work per week. So then you can take on enough clients and help enough people to end up with a multi-six-figure business working basically part-time hours. That math Chris just gave, I know we say it very casually because we talk about this stuff all the time. That is crazy. What does your life look like if you are making $231K per year working 14 hours a week? What are the other things you get to do in your life that you don't get to do right now because you don't have those systems set up? Friends, family, traveling, vacation, hobbies. Oh my God, what's something you haven't done in the last 5 to 10 years in terms of just something you wanted to do, but couldn't because you didn't have the time and energy? All right, you can tell I'm getting excited, Chris. Do this for support. Day to day, week to week, month to month. Day to day, use something like My PT Hub, the actual software that you'll be making their workouts through. There is a message tab on almost any software you use, and you can actually have a little chat going back and forth with you and your client. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Hey, Chris, I'm only going to check my PT Hub messages to answer your day-to-day questions. Should I eat white rice or brown rice? And then you say, man, I'm just glad you're not eating McDonald's. I don't really care. Day-to-day, Chris, I only answer my PT Hub from 9 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. And if you send me, Chris, a message at 2:30 p.m., it's going to have to wait until tomorrow until I check my PT Hub again. So set a boundary with when you're answering day-to-day messages. 1 10, 15-minute block, maybe 2 5 to 10-minute blocks. Once again, most coaches watching this right now won't have enough clients for that to become an issue, but I want you to be prepared down the road when you do have too many clients so that you don't get caught up in this. Day to day, do that. Week to week, have a weekly check-in sheet they fill out and send through to you. Pick a day of the week, almost like a homework assignment back in school, if you can remember that. Friday, Chris, you're going to send Mr. Vago his weekly check-in sheet, and it's going to be completed and thoroughly completed. So he can actually come in Saturday morning and give you feedback. Guess where I'm giving the feedback on the weekly check-in, Chris? My PT Hub messages, the same place we message day to day. So you're not having one platform over here, then communication happens over here and you get lost and they get lost and they're frustrated and you're frustrated. No, we want everyone to be happy. Customer experience, keeping it simple, right? So week to week, have the weekly check-in filled out and draw the clear boundary of, hey, if you don't send through your homework assignment to Mr. Vago on time, you've got to wait until the following week for Mr. Vago to give you feedback. Because it's important that you meet the expectations I lay out for you, because that's how you have the best results. I want to be able to best help, Chris, and I can't best help if we are not meeting each other halfway on this agreement. Last thing, month to month, think about why CrossFit has become very popular in the last decade. This is the analogy I use. Whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you're neutral, doesn't actually matter. Just, it's an analogy. So meatheads, please don't get mad at the CrossFit people. As a meathead, I'm saying that. CrossFit has blown up in the last decade, in my opinion, because it's a cult. Okay, there is a massive sense of community, a massive sense of belonging, and we're shooting this in 2021. So think about the context of the last 12 to 14 months of the world. What is the one thing everyone, including myself, has been missing more than anything? Dude, community, communication with other people, a sense of belonging, and being a part of a community. So guess what? You could implement something like a monthly call with all of your members, maybe jump on for 30 or 60 minutes. I always say, the first half of it can be Q&A. Everyone brings their top 2 or 3 questions. You get to riff on those topics. Super fun. Everyone gets to look forward to it. If you do it on the first week of the month, guess what you're doing the last 3 weeks of the month? You're hyping up the next one, right? So maybe part of it's Q&A, and then the part of it, you can add a 10-minute teaching piece. Maybe like myself, you like pulling out the whiteboard, and you can give your top 3 principles to improve XYZ topic. Right. So it's very fun. Everyone is obviously happily paying you for you to coach them. They're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting some real love and community here with a bunch of people in your niche, experiencing the same problems, wanting to achieve the same goals. It makes sense for everyone. So technical programming strategy, and then support day-to-day, month-to-month, day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month. I think that's a great place to leave it, Chris. 1 hour work per month per client, massive level of freedom, impact, and just having a lot of fun along the way.
Dude, this is so good. And especially just from my point of view as well, just so coaches understand, this can work for the variety of things with small little tweaks. So for example, I was more of a physique coach when I was coaching people. So I'd be coaching people into photo shoots, into shows. And what would usually happen, the only difference from everything Josh actually went through would be what would happen in kind of those last couple of weeks before that shoot or before that show, for when they were really going into something that really needed some fine tuning, like to the gram differences of what was going on with their food. Do you know what I mean? Like just minute little changes to make sure that they were peaking in time. That was the only difference compared to what was going on. So this works for a variety of niches, a variety of clients, a variety of coaching methods as well. And that's where there does need to be individualization for how you operate. But this is the framework to be able to use. Now, there is one key thing that I know I want to be able to help you with right now. And there's going to be some tech stuff. And we're going to break the tech stuff into two different parts. Firstly, I'm going to go through right now. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes for the tech stuff to run the business, because I've said systems a few times. I really want to hammer that home. I want you to have the systems in place. So for things like membership sites, websites, email campaigns, how to do the actual like technical marketing stuff in the back end, how to actually have your sales funnel set up, 2-way SMS, how to have conversations, how to have a sales pipeline put up. What about getting surveys and forms put together, scheduling so people can book in and with your calendars, all that kind of stuff we're going to cover as well. And then Josh is going to show you an actual breakdown to how to actually have you coach your clients with a method that we have so many coaches using right now as well. So what I want to do right now is I want to walk you through a back end. I want you to understand all the technology part, especially right now, the business stuff of the technology part. So your entire business from marketing and sales and everything works together in one place, because I wish I had this when I first started. But what is so good is this is the solution to make sure everything is working in one. So there's a couple key things I want to be able to show you right now, because when you get these and when you really understand this, your life's going to be so much easier and you can grow your business so much faster. So the first thing that we need to understand is actually understanding the numbers in your business. Really importantly, when it comes to sales, we need to know how many opportunities and leads are coming through. We need to understand what's the value of where people are at and how much money can you be earning. And we need to know the conversion rate. So is what we're doing from lead to sale actually working? And we can see some really good numbers. We need to understand what's going on with your funnels and what is actually happening then when it comes to the reports of the rest of your business. So you can see here, it's all laid out really easily, especially if you're running Facebook ads, Google ads, even when getting ratings and reviews and understanding what's going on inside of your business. This makes your life so much easier. The next thing that we really need is we need to have all of the conversations in one place, which essentially is going to be, can we have all of the messages with your leads so that we can be really easily and fast to get back and forth conversations to move them through the sales process to get them signing on to sales? Because if you don't have this, life becomes really hard because you're probably trying to jump in and out of so many different social media platforms. This can come all in one. The next thing is you need to understand what's actually going on with what we call opportunities, and especially a pipeline. So you can build out a pipeline to understand where are leads, are they booking a call, have they had a call, are they sold, are they not sold, do you need to follow up with them? And then we need to move on to other things such as workflows. Now, this is really important. When you're building marketing machines like what we're looking at, we need to make sure that you don't need to worry about this stuff. You set it up once, and ideally we set it up for you, and you don't even need to ever worry about it. So an example of this here is when someone is booking in a call with you to have a sales conversation, is we have email set up, we know when the emails need to set up, we know if we need to send text messages out to them, we know if we need to follow up with them, we know we can have all of this automated. So once it's done for you, you never need to worry about that again. And then we do this through all of your different funnels, all of your different lead magnets, all of your different campaigns. Now, the next step is understanding what is actually going on inside of your marketing machine and understanding where customer acquisition is really coming from. So you can have multiple different campaigns, such as different lead magnets. Maybe you're running challenges, maybe getting people in for free trials, maybe getting in for different program levels. And we need to know all of the different campaigns and methods that you're using. And then because when you set it up once, then you don't need to worry about it unless you want to upgrade it or fix it. And so this machine is here to run for you. Next, the big part that you will need to understand is actually setting up your email. So what we do is we come in and we can actually set up all of the emails that we know best work, but you can do this really easily yourself as well. So having all of the marketing emails in one spot makes your life so much easier, because then we can do things such as surveys, setting up surveys so you get your leads and your customers to give you the feedback for you to know exactly the next steps you need to be able to do. Then we need to understand what's actually going on with reporting. So you can see over this left-hand side, if you're running Google ads, if you're running Facebook ads, we know what's going on when people are booking in calls with you, when you're actually having those appointments come in, and we can track all of these different little steps that really make your life so much easier. Because then you can understand, well, what's going on with contacts, what's going on with all the different calls. And if you have actually people doing sales calls for you, then you don't need to worry about it. Then there's things like your calendar and your appointments, where you can get your calendar and appointment booked out, or your team members that are working for you as well. That then goes into reviews. Really importantly, are you actually getting people to give you reviews, and are you being able to put that into your marketing machine? If not, that's something we need to be able to do. Next, we need to be able to go through actual understanding your memberships. Do you have different levels of memberships? Do you have a membership site where you can have all of your content be able to be in one place for your members to come in and to be able to consume it and to be able to take them through your coaching programs? If you don't, this is something that will make your life so much easier. You can coach so many more people. You can charge so much more because you're delivering so much more value as well. Now, I know I'm going 100 miles an hour right now, but I want this entire training session that we're doing to give you a good snapshot so you understand what needs to happen. Now, next step is funnels. Now, you've probably heard of sales funnels, but do you know how to actually use the funnels to get leads and get the most amount of leads and build your list, and then be able to get them into the sales process to close them and as your clients? This is where we have them literally set out for you. We've created the ones that are best working. We can put them into your actual account. So it's pretty much a plug and click campaign ready for you to rock and roll with. Nextly, websites. We know we want to understand websites. We've got websites being able to be built for you really easily. So all you need to be able to do is you can actually be able to have us set up the website for you and for you to have it fleshed out. You don't need to spend $3,000, $5,000, $10,000+ on getting a website set up. This is where we can have it all and be able to create the pages that you need for it as well. And then what we need to understand is being able to increase the amount of conversations that you have with leads. So one example of this is you being able to have a chat, you being able to have a chat plugin, which is essentially making it really easy for people to be able to get in contact with you, for you to have the conversations, for you to get them into the sales process, for you to sign on as clients. If you don't have this easy process, if you don't have it all in one area, it becomes really confusing because you're probably paying for so many different softwares, you're paying for so many different apps, and it becomes confusing because your price to paying for all this stuff goes through the roof, but then you trying to handle it all just becomes an absolute mind F, to be perfectly honest. And that's what I don't want you to have. So when it just comes to running the back end, and especially the marketing and sales, and then into the delivery of the business, this is going to be the solution. These are going to be the things that you need. And then next, what we're going to do is Josh is going to show you how to actually tie in the coaching of you with your clients as well.
Hey, Josh here from the Coaches Cartel, giving you a quick My PT Hub tutorial on how to actually coach your clients through My PT Hub. Now, look, just so you know you're getting this information from a credible source, I have banged my head against the wall coaching over 15,200 coaching clients through online fitness in the last 5 or 6 years. I think I've tried every possible delivery system that you absolutely could use for online fitness coaching. I love My PT Hub. It's a simple one. It keeps things nice and organized for you. Ultimately, you're giving your clients two things here, and I'll try to keep this really simple for you. Strategy, which is the technical stuff you give the client, the nutrition and the workouts, and then the support, the actual access and accountability and the communication. In other words, that actual coach-client relationship. So strategy as well as the support can both be covered here on My PT Hub. Let's just get right into it. I'll show you a couple things on My PT Hub. And by the way, if you have follow-up questions on all this stuff, because I know it feels like there's a lot that you're putting together for a coaching service to make sure it's something you're proud of and something that actually delivers great results and delivers a great customer experience for your clients. I know it's a big deal. If you're having questions or if you're struggling with any of this tech stuff or just any of the big picture concepts I'm talking about, find a way to get in touch with me. I'm not a hard guy to find. I'm happy to help you actually sort through this. So a few quick things here on the actual My PT Hub. So in the workouts, you'll be able to click on workouts and you'll be able to add your own workouts by clicking on the little plus button, and then you can create a workout from there. You will name the workout, whatever you want to call it. You can actually create the workout, and you can also save it as a template. And then in the future, you'll be able to use templates that have been saved, so you don't have to start from zero every time you start with a new client. So you'll click on create the workout. Then you'll be able to go in and you'll search for exercises. And then you'll be able to click on the exercise. So we'll do a barbell bench press, because who would not want to do a barbell bench press, of course, right? And you'll be able to go in, you'll be able to add the sets and weight and reps and everything you want to do from there. You'll save it. You can click on the actual view exercise to see a video tutorial of it, or you can add notes and say, be sure to retract the scapula while doing this movement. Check video tutorial. Whatever. So you can, the point is, in the notes section here, you can add little notes that give specific cues for that exercise or just something to think about. You can remove the exercise by clicking the little trash button. You'll save it, and then you'll be able to add new exercises or even create your own exercise and add it here. I would not reinvent the wheel if I were you. Don't overcomplicate this. Just search for the next exercise, and you'll be able to add that in as well. So then you'll be able to save the workouts and use it as a template for future reference. I'm just going to go back right here. Then once you actually save those workouts, they will show up here. You can see the dozens and dozens of workout routines that we've already created here for the Coaches Cartel. And then once you actually have that template that's saved, your templates will save here. You'll be able to click on this guy, and you can actually edit it in the future if you want to make changes to it, or you can actually assign it to your clients. Tom Gibson is actually the name of the client. You'll save it to their profile. So you'll be able to add your clients to My PT Hub. They'll have their own profile account, so they'll just be able to make their own profile, and you can add these workouts directly to their profile. So that addresses the workouts and the training. Like I said, find me if you have questions about this. I'm happy to help you. And then you click on nutrition. You can actually make custom meal plans inside here, very similar to the workouts. And you can go in, and once you have actually added those workouts, or I'm sorry, the nutrition plans to here, once again, you're just assigning that to the client. Nice and easy, nice and simple. Nutrition, I know, varies quite a bit in terms of what coaches believe or do not believe and what should happen with nutrition. I also have a very simple hand portioning guide. My clients have loved it over the years, particularly if you're working with general population where they just need to make some general better choices and they don't have to be super meticulous and measure every little thing they put in their mouth like a high-level bodybuilder or athlete would have to. I've also got that hand portioning guide I'm happy to share with you as well. So the technical strategy, like I told you, the workouts and nutrition, the technical things you give a client in order to look, feel, and operate better on a daily basis can be covered here through My PT Hub. Obviously, workouts in the workouts tab, nutrition in the nutrition tab. Actually going through and adding clients here, you'll click on the clients tab on the left-hand side of the screen. You'll be able to go through, click on the plus button, add a client, and you can go through and add all the information in that you need to. You'll be able to save and add the client, and then you'll have the list of clients in which they'll be able to add all of the workouts to. So clients to add a client, workouts to give them the workout, nutrition to give them the nutrition. And last thing I'll mention here, because there's a lot of other things you could do on here. You could take payment on here. There could be calendars and all kinds of sexy integrations on this filled out. Just bare bones, keeping it simple for you right now. The other part here with the actual support side of things, this is the coach-client communication. If I were you, I would take advantage of the messaging tab here on My PT Hub. So you can go through and your clients actually communicate here in the messaging tab of My PT Hub. So day to day, they can ask their questions on the technical strategies you're teaching them. So maybe you go through one time per day and spend 10, 15 minutes answering all of these messages and clearing the inbox, quote unquote, as if it was an email. And then maybe week to week, when you have your weekly check-ins with clients, they can fill out a weekly check-in form. If you don't have a weekly check-in form, come find me because I've got that as well. Once again, I have all of this already set up, so you don't have to do a lot of thinking and creating. You can just reach out to me, and I'm happy to help. So weekly check-ins, this is where you give feedback. These are the 3 pieces of advice I'm giving you for the upcoming week, yada, yada, yada. So day to day, week to week, you can give your support to your clients here. So you're answering their questions, keeping them motivated, giving feedback on the data you're actually collecting from their workouts and nutrition that they're doing. They're accountable to you, so they're always striving for the next thing and getting closer to where they ultimately want to be, which is what you want for them and what they want for themselves as well. So through technical strategy that you give them, as well as the support, the coach-client relationship along the way, here's a nice little overview of how you use My PT Hub. If you have any questions on this stuff whatsoever, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
All right, so I know that we've covered heaps inside of this training. We've gone through the key problems that so many fit pros and maybe you have been having. We've gone through really a breakdown step of how to earn $231,000 as a real life example with only 14 hours a week of actual coaching. We've gone through some key onboarding steps that Josh is literally giving you. We've gone through how to actually include and break down to know what to give and do for your clients. And we've gone through some key tech stuff to make sure you're never going to be confused with that again. Now, the key is if you want the fastest and easiest path to know exactly what to do to actually grow your fitness business, then it's what we call a strategy session. Really quickly and easily, you get to talk with us to figure out 3 quick things. Number 1, where are you? Because depending on where you are, maybe you're starting from scratch, maybe you've been in the industry for years, depends on what you need to do to moving forward. But then 2 is where do you want to go? How much money do you want to make? Where do you want to work from? Who do you want to work with? What does success really look like for you? That's going to change what you need to do. So depending on where you're starting and depending on where you want to go, completely changes the actual things that you need to be able to do, which is the 3rd step. What's the straightest line to actually get you to achieving what it is? And that is what we do with a strategy session. Super quick 15-minute chat. It's free and chill out. There is nothing to buy on these calls. It is our way to make sure that we can actually help you. So worst case scenario, you take the plan that we give you and you run with it. Best case scenario, you actually implement what we're going to be able to give you and we can help you do absolutely everything that you need to grow your business even faster. No stress, no pressure, but it's the easiest way we can know, can we actually help you? Because there is no button that you can buy on the internet to get inside. We've got to have a conversation to make sure you're the right fit. So I'll pop a link below for you to be able to choose a time for your strategy session and to get into it. And Josh, what would be like one beautiful key nugget that you want to leave the coach with right now to make sure they can actually build a coaching business that is going to give them what they want?
Big question. I'll tell you this. I booked in my strategy session back in 2016 and it was the best decision I ever made. At the end of the day, you are a coach. If you're watching this video, understand this thing. And this is my one thing, Chris, coaches need coaching as well. So I would say truly, not to be too woo-woo, open your mind and open your heart to the possibility out there. Odds are if you're watching this right now, you are the type of person that wants to grow and help other people grow. I just want to tell you, there's so much possibility and opportunity out there. Let yourself kind of dream a little bit and think about what the ideal situation would be like for you. If you can literally write down just a couple of things, how many people do I want to help? How much money do I want to make? Whatever comes to mind when you think about the ideal scenario, come into the call and the strategy session with that in mind. Because odds are if you're watching this, you want more. And I always believe you deserve more if you're willing to go seek out that information. So seriously, not to be too cliche, dream big, think big. What does that look like? What does that feel like for you? It really helps us for you to have an idea of what that could look and feel like coming into the call.
Beautiful. I think we have to cover the story of you going through and starting with the Cartel too. So we had our strategy session a while ago now, which was awesome. Now, when you were starting out, Josh, what was the biggest problem you thought that you had to solve?
Oh my gosh, I had so many problems. I think the biggest one was I didn't believe I could deliver value as a coach.
Super interesting. Okay, amazing. So when we break this down and we look over your journey, let's be perfectly honest. You started off kind of strong and then you flatlined. Like you stopped doing the things you needed to do. And I think like a lot of coaches, there's bright, shiny object syndrome. Do you mean you see there's so many different things that you could be doing. There's so many different ways to get leads, to do sales, to like set up all this different stuff. But the key is, and this is honestly why I believe we have so many members doing so well, is because we literally keep them on that straight line. There's just a few things that you need to do to actually get the results. And it's when I gently and lovingly kicked you up the bum that got you to do that. Would you say that's correct?
100%. Yeah.
So this is the thing. Josh totally got the bright, shiny object syndrome, wasn't pulling the trigger. When he did pull the trigger, well, what happened, dude?
Dude, I went on to coach 15,200 people before the age of 25. Like I never would have thought I would have helped that many people. Never would have thought I'd made that much money. But when you actually have a process and system set up that's duplicatable and replicatable, that's the result you get. It's not even about how great I am. It's about how great that process and system is. Yeah. And so I think for a lot of, that's why I mentioned, Chris, like for me, not believing I could deliver value, I kept trying to, this is a terrible analogy because I have several members of my family dealing with this. A lot of people try to put a Band-Aid on a tumor.
Yeah.
And that's what my shiny object syndrome was. Because of, the low self-esteem, low self-worth, I just thought, well, a new marketing strategy will fix it, which is why I truly encourage whoever's on the other side of this computer or phone right now, man, you're put on this earth to do something great with your life, and allow yourself to believe that and internalize that, because we've got the process and system, but I need you to work on yourself and how you feel about what you're doing, and how much you ultimately believe that you want to build this thing, because we've got the process and system. Honestly, it's pretty easy because we do this every day.
Dude, this is amazing. All right. So click the link below, book in your strategy session. If you're still sitting on the fence, I'm going to have a bunch of social proof straight after this. This is going to be an obnoxious, do you know what I mean? Very, I'm biased, but very truthful way to show you that the proof is in the pudding. If you want to see exactly what all the other coaches are doing, I'll have some reel after this just to show you exactly what it's doing. Thank you, Josh. This has been amazing, and looking forward to chatting with you real soon.
It's really been unbelievable. The whole experience has been amazing. We love you guys. We are so appreciative and so blessed that we found you. And we're just excited. We're so excited for the things to come.
Honestly, joining the Coaches Cartel has been the best decision I ever made in my career. Hands down. They gave me the right mentorship and information that I was thirsting for.
What was super cool was just getting to know Chris the guy, Chris the dad, Chris the business owner, chats over coffees, and that's when I think you really realise that hey, this is the real deal, and this is the place to be. This is going to have an impact on your life, your relationships. You're going to earn a stack load more money, and you're going to have a bigger impact on the world.
Chris is amazing at what he does. I mean, he will give you that system, that process, even to the point where he will give you the messaging or a template that has such a quick response for people, gets people back into your business, having a conversation. And I just found the biggest thing was the guidance around some of these little steps.
Now I get to work from home, support my wife, and actually do the work that I love, because I'm helping other people and impacting their lives, whilst having the freedom to be able to live life on my terms.
If you've been struggling for a long time to get the results you've been looking for, then it's time to put your ego down and hire a coach and let him take you through the proven process. And Chris is the man to do that.
I was a bit skeptical about it at the start. I'm so happy I did. I have ×5 my weekly income because I am able to now work only 8 hours, but more efficiently and more effectively. You have to think about your future here. If you're feeling a little bit skeptical about it, just think to yourself, why not have financial freedom now? I wish I did it sooner, trust me. Do it and you will not regret it.